Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It is September 10th, 2023, and a new report claims that the Espai Barca investors are currently having doubts about continuing to fund the project due to the Enrique case. Also, it's being reported that Barcelona have reached an agreement to extend Lamine Yamal's contract past its current expiration of 2026. And finally, we now know the reasons why Joao Felix rejected the number 10 jersey. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and I had previously promised you a video about my trip to the Spotify Camp Nou, where I filmed the state of the stadium because it's currently undergoing major renovations. And while after a lot of back and forth with YouTube and FC Barcelona, who had flagged the video on multiple occasions for copyright infringements, all those problems have finally been solved, and the video will be published tomorrow, Monday, September the 11th. So stay tuned for that video, and once you watch it, please let me know what you think, because it's gonna be the first video of its kind in this channel, because usually I always bring you news videos, and this will be kind of the first kind of vlog type of video. So I'm very excited for you guys to see it, and I'm very excited to hear your thoughts. Now, having said all of that, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and if you are looking for any Barcelona jerseys or merchandise, make sure you hit the kickback. If you are looking to place any sports bets, make sure you hit Bet Us. Both links are down below in the description. Now I'll begin with the news that today the media outlet El Debate released an article claiming that the investors of the Espai Barca project are currently having doubts about continuing to fund the project because of the Enrique case. Now, as you already know, the Espai Barca project is a 1.5 billion euro project where Barcelona are remodeling the Spotify Camp Nou and other Barcelona facilities. And of course, these 1.5 billion euros are being funded by external investors. Now, this article claims that these investors are having doubts about continuing to fund the projects, and they're considering pulling out of the project because of the judicial resolution that the Spanish judge wrote last week. Now, I made a separate video where I discussed exactly that judicial resolution. I will link that video at the end of this video in case you are curious. But in a nutshell, a Spanish judge had written a judicial resolution claiming that he had uncovered new evidence that proves systemic corruption in the committee of referees that had favored Barcelona. Now, the only evidence that this judge had cited to was logical possibilities. So in other words, the judge had absolutely no new evidence. He was simply writing an opinion piece. And now the media outlet El Debate are claiming that the Espai Barca project investors are having doubts about continuing to fund the project because of this judicial resolution that this Spanish judge wrote. Well, Barcelona have completely denied any claims of this. There's absolutely no truth or reality to any of these claims. This is simply part of the media campaign against Barcelona to continue to soil the name of the club. And there's absolutely no doubts about the investment in the Espai Barca project, and the investors had already brought this topic up. They had brought the Enrique topic up before they formalized or finalized the agreement to fund the Espai Barca project. And Barcelona addressed all of the investors' concerns and answered all of their questions. And as a result, Barcelona initially had to pay higher interest rates on these loans as a result of the investors' doubts about the Enrique case. But nonetheless, those doubts were all laid to rest before the agreement was finalized. And then the agreement was finalized and the investors have already put up the money. So no, there are no doubts about continue to invest in Espai Barca projects. And this is simply nothing more but fake news. Now, when I first read this article, I was not sure who the media outlet El Debate were. I had never heard of them. And well, it turns out that they are a pretty new media outlet. And once I checked out their website and their social media outlets, well, lo and behold, there was Florentino Perez, the president of Real Madrid, who had actually inaugurated the media outlet himself. And once I saw those pictures, it all made absolute sense why this media outlet would publish such a fake report. And this is further proof that there is definitely a coordinated media campaign, a Madrid-based media campaign against Barcelona to continue to soil the name of the club. Now on to the news that the agreement to renew the contract of Xavi Hernandez has been reached, and we should expect an official announcement in the upcoming days. Now, Barcelona have been trying to renew the contract of Xavi Hernandez, which expires at the end of the season in the summer of 2024. But Xavi Hernandez had told the club to hold off on his renewal because he did not want to be a hindrance in the club's signing operations or in the club's economy, given the financial fair play rule restrictions that the club are currently facing. And now that the summer transfer market is closed and Barcelona were able to sign all the players that they wanted to sign and register their contracts as well, Barcelona turned their attention to the renewal of the contract of Xavi Hernandez, which is now being reported that has been finalized. Now, initially, Barcelona wanted to renew the contract of Xavi Hernandez until 2026, but unfortunately, because of the financial fair play rule restrictions, Barcelona will only be able to renew the contract of Xavi Hernandez until 2025. But it is reported that there is currently a clause in that contract that would allow Barcelona to extend Xavi Hernandez's contract for one more season, as soon as they clear more space in their wage bill in order to meet those financial fair play rule restrictions. Now, Barcelona will be giving Xavi a salary raise because, after all, his current salary is way below market value for a club as big as Barcelona. And in fact, Xavi Hernandez took a huge pay cut when he agreed to take the job as head coach of FC Barcelona. Now, speaking of contract renewals, it's reported that Barcelona have reached an agreement with Lamine Yamal's agent, Jorge Mendes, in order to extend the contract of the young player past its current expiration of 2026. Now, Lamine Yamal signed his first professional contract with Barcelona, which he extended until 2026, because under the FIFA rules, when you're under 18 years old, you can only extend for 3 more years. And while it's reported that Barcelona have reached an agreement with Jorge Mendes, so when Lamine Yamal turns 18 years old in 2025, the club will be extending the contract of the La Masia crown jewel for 5 more years until 2030. Now, this is, of course, great news because Lamine Yamal has been a huge revelation and one of the best talents to come out of La Masia since Lionel Messi. So I'm glad to see that the club are working very hard in order to secure the future of these youngsters at our club. Because as I had mentioned previously in a previous video, Barcelona are working hard to renew the contracts of all of their youngsters because the club want to bet on this young generation of players, because not only are they the present of Barcelona, they are also the future of the club. Now, speaking of signing players, we now know the reasons why Joao Felix rejected the number 10 jersey. Now, it seems that when negotiations were in an advanced stage between Barcelona and Joao Felix, the club had brought up in the conversation the number 10 jersey to Joao Felix. And it seems that the Portuguese player rejected the idea of wearing the number 10 because he wanted to come to Barcelona under a low profile. Now, it seems that what Joao Felix wants is to come to Barcelona, put his head down, work hard in order to redeem himself, prove himself, and more importantly, earn a spot on the team, rather than accepting a number 10 jersey and coming to Barcelona as the biggest and new star signing for Barcelona, because Joao Felix knows that he needs to prove himself at Barcelona. And this is a great way of thinking, and I'm really glad to hear this news, because this is how it should be at FC Barcelona. Nobody should come and demand minutes or demand a place on the first team. They need to come here, work hard, and prove themselves. This is also good news because I did have a little bit of worry about Joao Felix, because even though skill-wise he's one of the most talented players of his generation, of course there was a lot of talks about him being disruptive in the locker room of Atletico de Madrid, so I was really worried about him doing that in Barcelona. But now that I hear about him not wanting the number 10 jersey, not wanting any big spotlight or any big media attention, and that he only wants to come to Barcelona to work hard and prove himself, this definitely puts me at ease. And then once you add to the fact that Joao Felix was earning 16 million euros at Atletico Madrid, and now he will be earning 400,000 euros at Barcelona, this definitely confirms the idea that Joao Felix is not here to be a diva or to be some kind of star or spoil things. He's definitely here to work hard, redeem himself, and show us all what he's capable of. Now, we will end today's video with the news that Barcelona are still working on extending Frankie de Jong's contract in order to lower his salary. Now, Frankie de Jong is currently one of the highest earners on the squad, or he's actually the highest earner on the squad, and it's even reported that he's one of the highest earners in the entire Spanish league. And of course, Barcelona would like to reduce the salary of the Dutch midfielder because his current salary, not only is it way above market value, but it is unaffordable for the club. Now, Barcelona would like to follow with Frankie de Jong the same formula as Mark ter Stegen, where they extended Mark ter Stegen's contract, agreeing to defer his salary for the first 2 years and then later lower his salary and pay him his deferral from the first 2 years of the contract. And Barcelona want to do the same exact thing with Frankie de Jong to extend his contract for 2 more years, so from 2026 until 2028, where the player would continue to earn the same salary but agree to defer a part of it. And in the final years of his contract, he would agree to reduce his salary. Now, for now, Frankie de Jong and his entourage have not said no to this idea, but they also have not said yes either. They are willing to sit down and hear what Barcelona have to offer and negotiate any salary deferrals or reductions. So we're gonna have to see what will turn up out of these negotiations. But there are plenty of reports saying positive things, that Frankie de Jong is willing to help out the club because now that he's a Barcelona captain, he feels more important in the locker room. And of course, Mark ter Stegen is a good friend of Frankie de Jong, and some are saying that this could influence the player to agreeing to work with Barcelona. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I would like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, Visca Barça.